Ever walk away from a conversation just feeling totally misunderstood? You know that feeling, right? Where the amazing idea in your head just gets completely lost somewhere on the way out of your mouth. It happens to all of us. But figuring out why it happens is the key to actually fixing it. So let's dive in.
Just look at this quote. It kind of perfectly captures the total chaos of communication, doesn't it? This thinker, Jacques Salomé, shows us that it's not some simple two-way street. It's more like a minefield of what we think, what we say, and what the other person hears. Seriously, with at least 9 different ways for it all to go wrong, it's a miracle we ever understand each other at all.
So when we're staring at that communication maze, what do we usually do? Well, we look for shortcuts, right? We fall back on what feels familiar. But here's the thing. These shortcuts are really just wrong turns. They end up taking us even further away from what we actually want, which is to be understood.
And look, these aren't character flaws or anything like that. They're just coping mechanisms we've all picked up. Most of us have one style we lean on really hard, especially when we get stressed. So let's break them down, and you can start to see which ones you might be using.
Okay, so first up, we've got the path of submission. This is the classic peace at any price approach. It's where you just kind of hide what you need and let everyone else decide for you. You say things like, oh, whatever you want is fine, even when it's totally not fine. And yeah, it feels like you're being nice, avoiding a fight. But what's really happening? You're not respecting your own needs. You basically make yourself invisible. All right, next is the path of manipulation. And this one is all about beating around the bush. You're trying to get what you want, but you never actually ask for it directly. It's those little hints, right? Like, wow, you're just so good at writing reports. It's a shame I'm so swamped with mine. See what that does? It's totally indirect. It puts the other person in a really awkward spot, and it's just not honest because you're not giving them a real chance to say no.
And then there's our third wrong turn, aggression. This is the total opposite of submission. Here, the goal is just to impose your needs and win, no matter what. I mean, the message gets through, that's for sure. But the problem is, it's a bulldozer. It just steamrolls over the other person. It blames, it attacks. The goal isn't to understand each other, it's just to win. And that almost always wrecks the relationship.
So the big question is, why? Why do we do this? Why do we choose to be submissive or manipulative or even aggressive instead of just saying what we mean? Well, it almost always comes down to fear. A bunch of really powerful fears that are kind of running the show from behind the scenes.
I mean, just look at these. These are the invisible strings pulling us around. That fear of judgment, it pushes you toward submission, right? You think, they'll just think my idea is stupid. The fear of conflict makes you clam up, and that fear of rejection, oh yeah, that can make you manipulative because you're trying to engineer a yes. These fears are basically the fuel for those other paths, telling us that it's just safer to not be direct.
Okay, but here's the good news. There is a better way. It's not another sneaky shortcut, though. This is the main road. It's called self-assertion, and it's the healthy, effective, and most importantly, respectful way to communicate.
And this is so important to get right. People mix up assertiveness with aggression all the time, but they are totally different things. It's all about balance. See, it's about expressing your feelings and getting your rights respected while, and this is the key part, also respecting the rights of the other person. You ask clearly, you don't demand. You aim for a compromise, you don't just run from conflict. It's that perfect, sweet spot right between disrespecting yourself, which is submission, and disrespecting the other person, which is aggression.
So, what's in it for you? Why even bother? Well, the payoff is huge. Seriously. Your self-esteem, your confidence, it goes up. Your relationships, they get more honest, more real, because people actually know where they stand with you. And you get to fulfill that deep need we all have, to be really heard and understood. You stop feeling like a passenger in your own life, and you start to feel like you're actually the one driving. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually do it? Especially in the heat of the moment, when all your old habits are screaming at you to take over. Well, here's the really practical part. We've got a simple 4-step tool you can use. It's a formula for making a really clear, assertive request.
Okay, let's walk through this. Step 1, when. This is all about stating the objective facts. No blame, no accusation.
So instead of, "You're always late," you say, "When we have a meeting set for 9 and you get here at 9:15. See how that's just a fact? Then, step 2, I feel. This is where you own your feeling. I feel frustrated. No one can argue with how you feel. It's yours. Step 3, because. Now you connect the dots. Explain the concrete impact. Because then we have to rush and I feel unprepared. And finally, step 4, I would like. This is your clear, positive, and, this is important, negotiable request. So I would like for us to figure out a way to start our meetings on time. It's respectful, it's crystal clear, and it opens the door for a real solution, not a fight.
Now let's be super clear about something. This is not a magic wand. It doesn't guarantee you're going to get exactly what you want every single time. The other person still gets to have their own response, they can still say no. But what it is a map. It's a guide that shows you how to get through those tricky conversations with clarity and respect. And trust me, that alone massively boosts your chances of being understood and actually solving the problem together.
So let's make this real for you, right now. Think about your week ahead. Your job, your family, your friends. What is one conversation that's been hanging over your head? One you've been putting off, or maybe one you know you're going to handle badly. Now, how could you use that 4-step formula on that conversation? Just think about it. Taking that single, small, assertive step, it really could change everything.